Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I had left the social media for my boys to, entertain you guys, but we are back. So today we are in Naivasha, and as promised, we are going to show you the step-by-step process of this project from the beginning to the end. And as at now, we are happy to tell you that we have completed the structure phase of this project, going into the finishing stage. So behind me, as you can see, is the Chapachura project in Naivasha, a very beautiful marionette, and in a few, I will show you what it entails. As you know from our projects, the ones that we actually do design and build, we like to design functional spaces. And as you can see behind me, these are steps going into the house. And for these particular ones, we decided we are going to have them longer and also reference to the original ground level. The thing we needed to avoid for this particular project is to have us bring in more materials to make sure that we get the level that we need for the house. So one thing we did is that we raised the house. As you can see, we have 3 steps. That is minus 450, that is 450 millimeters in terms of height going into the house. This was to make sure that we deter any external water to come into the house. So we made them as long as possible so that they are safe, number one, and also they are easy to walk into the house. So, and that is why we came up with this part of the staircase. And as you can see, they are beautifully executed. The other thing about this staircase, we did something we call a wraparound staircase. So a wraparound staircase gives the user easy access from either directions. So if you are coming in from that direction or you're coming in from this direction, you have a smooth transition from that into the landing of these steps. So this is our entry point, and this we call it our entry porch, which is this part here. So this is a wraparound staircase going all the way to that point. As we continue to transform this house, both internally and externally, we designed for something we call a flower pot or a flower section that is interconnected to the house. So the section you see here, we intend to have a flower pot. Let's not call it a pot, but a flower section, which will extend from this section all the way to that section, so that at least this house also has a courtyardish kind of a feel. So where I'm standing right now, this is our entry porch. The idea behind the design was to have an outdoor space that you and your guests can come there and sit outside as you enjoy the views of Lake Naivasha and also the views of the gorge. So now we introduce this section for the client so that if they need to have their own time and have the indoor moment. As you remember, I explained about a flower section. So this is to give them an outdoor kind of a feel. So behind me, they will have their couches, which they can access that section from the lounge, and they can have a nice breezed outdoor space. So from the front porch, we have our entry foyer. On my left side, we have the common clock. Going into the sitting room, we have our fireplace, but we are going to do this cladding with either wood or natural stone. So from there, this is where the lounge space is. That is our staircase going up. This particular section, we designed it for a small kids area that the parents can actually see what the kids are doing as they enjoy their lounge area. So on this side, we have our kitchen pantry. So this is our kitchen pantry. And then into the kitchen. The kitchen has a very beautiful island. But as you can see, there are provision for electricals for that section. So this is our dining space area. And that is the beautiful view of the gorge. So on this particular side, this is our laundry area, come stop for this particular space. So what we're going to do here is just introduce a bit of shelving on that side, do a machine, laundry sink, just to make sure that they have a very good space for that particular working. The shelves will be used as storage for a few things here and there. And now that is the exit from the laundry area. On this particular side, we have our guest bedroom, which has a small foyer coming into it. This is where our bed space will be. So all the bedrooms in this house are en suite. So that is the cabinet space. This is the powder room, as some guys like to call it, or just a WC, with a very beautiful, huge window on that section just to give light and also give that view of that part of the house. So that is it. And from that section, you come out into the rear porch where this space is also defined. That is a small breakfast area. Maybe here they can decide to do a few decoration here and there in the future. The most interesting part of this particular project is that our client has been in the industry for more than 35 years in the US. So as you can see, this particular part of the ceiling, this is our client's handiwork. His name is Tom Puff Puff, and I'm sure you'll see him in more of our videos. So these are channels and studs which he has set out perfectly to make sure that the ceiling does not sag. The ceiling actually has a shadow gap running through that section, and I'm so excited to see what he comes up with by the end of this project. So these are collaborative part that we are doing with our client, and watch out for this space as we transform it together. So in every house, the most and critical part of the house is actually the staircase. For this particular floor, we had our ceiling height higher. This was around 3200 in terms of 3200 millimeters height. And what that does, it actually changes the number of steps that you will have to make sure that you have a nice and smooth staircase. So for this particular staircase, we have 21 risers just to try and accommodate that height, which is a bit longer. Now, in normal occasion, you would have around 18 to 19 risers for a standard height house, which is 2700. But for this particular one, we have 21, just to make sure that we have an easy 150 high riser that allows you to transition safely from the ground level to the first floor. So this is our staircase landing area, and this is the steps going all the way up to the terrace. So on this side, we have our family room. Our family room, this section, that has a beautiful view of the Lake Naivasha. Where we are standing right now, this is our balcony for the family room, and also extensively for the master bedroom. So this particular section, we are going to have the transition barriers, just to give this part a beautiful look. That is why we have that section. So we are going to have wooden blinds for this particular section. That just gives this section a definitive and an architectural aesthetic. Let me walk you through to the master bedroom. Come on. So this is a corridor going into the bedroom. This is the entryway. So here we are going to have a cabinet, powder room area, a walk-in closet, a small balcony over there. That is the powder room. Coming into the bed space area, which is going into that section, and out to the balcony and the view of the lake. So this is one of the bedrooms. Come in. Those two beautiful windows, the powder room, the balcony, cabinet area. So as we extensively explain architecture and the thoughts behind this beautiful design, I will explain about the external moldings that we introduced for this particular project. So behind me, as you can see, there is that molding cutting across that section, going all the way down. Number one, the purpose for that decorative column was to conceal the pipes for the toilet. So that we used them as ducts just to conceal those pipes and make sure that they are not projecting outside of the house. So that was number one. Secondly, was to add into the aesthetic and aesthetics of the structure. So those that section of that decorative column and beam is purposely used to define that space. The thought behind designing this back porch was to give our clients a section out of the dining area that they can have their own breakfast area outside of the house as they enjoy the view of the gorge. So we are going to have two planters on each side of the steps going out of the house, and also we are going to have a pergola. And what that does is that it removes the bottom into the from the design and gives it something that is different in the house. Not too much, just a little different that defines the section of that particular house. So this in turn increases or modifies or amplifies the beauty of this particular measurement. Fun fact: when you're doing your design for the toilets or for the WCs or for the washrooms, be creative enough to have some of your toilets aligned from bottom to up. So probably what that means is that if you have a toilet upstairs and downstairs, make sure that they all aligned properly, so that makes it easier for your plumbing, also make it easier for planning that space, so everything goes in seamlessly. That is a master bathroom toilet, and this is a guest bedroom toilet. As you can see, the windows are practically aligning, just to make sure that you have those defined straight lines for this building. And on the other side too, we have two windows that also we've placed them on that side to allow us to do our cladding. So when we were doing this design, we decided we need to have, apart from having those beautiful colors that you see on the design, we wanted to give it a rustic kind of a feel. And there's no better way to do it than to add natural stone into the design. So this particular section, we are going to do cladding, black Mazeras cladding from the bottom to the top, just to make sure that the house seamlessly interlinks with the colors that we had chosen. When you look at this elevation, you'll see there is that beautiful definitive molding that has straight lines running, and also you'll see there is a connection of that elevation from that side that communicates to this elevation of this side, because you can see there is another molding running all the way down. We are still in the architectural phase of this explanatory video. So if you want a beautiful space, you must think about everything conclusively. And for this part, I will explain why this balcony did not come all the way to the end of that decorative panel, wall panel. So we decided to have it recessed slightly on the inside, just to give it a definitive and a beautiful outlook in how this space is going to come out finally. The other thing we did, as you can see on our render, we are going to, there is this column that is projecting slightly outside, 75 millimeters, and these will allow us to clad this whole section going all the way up to those decorative columns. So watch out for this space and enjoy as you check what we intend to do on this section on our render. We are on the right elevation of this house that hosts the staircase, a small play area for the kids, the kitchen, the back porch. We also have the terrace on the first floor. We also have the family room. We also have another bedroom on this side that goes all the way to the top. So this is the other part that I like the most. One is because of this long window that cuts across this section that gives it a bar. So this section also we are going to do a bit of cladding, and this will communicate to the left side, left elevation of this house. So as I promised, this design was critically thought about because every section communicates to the other section. So if you look at the right side of right elevation of this house and the left elevation of this house, you will see there are some few interconnecting features that we've placed on this particular house. Number one, that section has these beautiful mold cutting across that wall. So what that does is to break the monotony of that wall. Secondly, as you can see, we have this section that is going to be cladded with a long window. Also, that gives that seamless transition from this side of the house to this side of the house. When we come to this play area of the kids and where the staircase is running across, you can see there is also another beautiful molding that also gives a transition of that section of the wall. So the right elevation of the house equals the left elevation of the house. The front porch of the house also interlinks with the rear part of the house. Show them that video.